Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going live stream today on Canada Day. So for those in Canada, happy Canada Day. So today I'm just doing a quick tasting of the Blue Mountain Vineyard Pinot Noir grapes as chosen by my subscribers. And so we're going to taste two from the 2017 vintage. We've got the Block 23 and the Block 9. So a little bit about the winery. Jane and Ian Maivety started the operations of this winery in 1971. And they actually started as growers. And so for 20 years, they actually just grew grapes, and they just basically were just farmers and growers and gave their grapes to other people. And that changed in 1991. And in 1991, they created their own label. And why I really like Blue Mountain Vineyards is their wines are, generally speaking, still very, very reasonably priced. And I've really appreciated this. They've continued with all these years to continue to be a family-owned winery. And to this day, now it's run by the two children, Matt and Christie. So I think Matt is the winemaker now, and Christie is the kind of sales operation person. So again, for those who are joining me here on Livestream, happy Canada Day if you're a Canadian. And so I thought I'd do some BC wines here to celebrate Canada Day. And these were picked by subscribers, and I'm really glad that people picked these wines. So again, Blue Mountain Vineyards up in the Okanagan Falls. And I really think they're a great winery because they are family owned and operated, and they are really just nice people. Their wines are fairly affordable, and they do create really spectacular Pinot Noir grapes and wines. So let's try the two wines that I have in front of me. The first one we're going to try is the Pinot Noir, the Block 23, which is called River Flow. And so this is priced around maybe $50 in Canada. Their entry-level Pinot Noir is priced at around $25 to $30, which is really, really reasonable. And these are really exceptional Pinot Noirs. With their regular Pinot Noir, it is a bit more lighter style, a little bit more cherry. You can see on this, I'm not sure if you can see it in the screen, but this is a little bit darker, and it shows some age on it right now. Hey, Luca, thanks for coming on to this live stream. So I'm happy that someone's on the live stream. So thank you so much. I don't know if you're Canadian, but if you are, then happy Canada Day. So anyways, it's kind of a fun thing for me to do. I was going to try a live stream. I'll do this once in a while when I have a chance, and it's a way to kind of keep in touch with my subscribers and viewers. So for those who are joining me today, thanks for joining me. So anyways, I'm going back to this Blue Mountain. We're going to taste the Block 23, which is the River Flow. So the neat thing about Blue Mountain Vineyards is that it basically has a lot of grapes in that blend, and it's really entry level. It's about $25, $30. It's really nice. They've last couple of years have done these specialized blocks that have different characteristics. So the first one on my right here is the Block 23. It was planted in 1994, and it has northern exposure, and it's east facing. So that'll be interesting to compare and contrast to the wild terrain that I have on my left. So again, planted in 1994, and it's River Flow. So I'll read from the back of the label, but it's because it's northern exposure and it is east facing, it's basically going to be on high ground, sandy loam soil, and the east facing slopes expose the vines to cool morning sun, allowing the fruit to develop gentle minerality between sun and soil, crafting this river flow. So it's a gentler type of Pinot Noir. So let's taste it. So I've just opened this, And if you join me here on live stream on YouTube, I will actually do another tasting at 3:30 on Instagram. And so maybe it'll open or develop a little bit more at that time. So on the smell, this is, it's quite earthy in terms of the smell. It doesn't have that fruity cherryness that normal Pinot Noirs from BC have. This is quite Burgundy-esque and quite full. And if my viewers know that I have been drinking a lot of Chambolle-Musigny, this is quite like the higher kind of the Chambolle region wines in terms of it's not just cherry. It's kind of nice in that sense. So on a taste, it's not, I would not compare it to the Gevrey Chèvreton or the Beaune type wines because it doesn't have that really tart cherry aroma and taste. It doesn't taste like American either because it's not full and heavy and really fruit forward. It's actually very relaxed in terms of its fruit profile. It's got some leathery elements to it actually. So I think this is kind of fully mature at this point. It's actually tasting very nice in my opinion. It's got slight cherry, but I would say dark cherry, almost like maybe dried cherry in a way, but some leathery components, some herbs, a little bit of spice on it, but very nice. It's not a simple kind of just fruit forward Pinot Noir. So it's surprising to me. But I think it's fully mature. I get some smokiness in this too. So I like this wine. My initial rating of this is going to be 88 points, maybe towards 89 points. It's really good, but now as I taste it more and more, it's got a little bit of aftertaste, which I'm not as crazy about. Let's go now to the Wild Terrain, which is the Block 9. And so this is, again, a different vineyard for Blue Mountain. And this is on the steep slopes and is southwest exposure. These were planted in 1999. And with both of these, they're 100% fermented in wild yeast. So again, I'll read from the back of this label. It's basically features steep slopes exposed to the wind and to sun-drenched flatter plains over loamy sand. And it's got significant southwestern exposure, which reveals the wild complexity of this wine. So that's why it's called Wild Terrain. So let's taste this and compare and contrast. And I actually really like to do these compare and contrast. Sometimes it's really difficult to understand a wine just by itself. It's really useful to drink two wines, particularly from the same vintage, from the same producer. And then you actually are just tasting or smelling terroir. So this one actually is the opposite of what I thought it would be. This one is a little bit brighter, in fact, than the Block 23. Oh, it's more minerally. So this has got a little bit peppery. So this one, yeah, in comparison now, I can see the difference because this wine is, it's almost chalky and minerally. So neither of these wines are your bright cherry type of Pinot Noirs. I think they have some age on them now, so they're fully mature. But this one is almost like limestone, salt, minerals, earthy, stony. This is even more so, and a little bit of pepper on this. I would almost compare this to almost like an Alsace type Pinot Noir. So I think both of them are about the same. I would say they're between 88 and 89 points. I prefer the Block 23 a little bit more. This one is, the Block 9 is a little bit stony and very salty and minerally. And it doesn't have as much fruit as I'd like to on this wine. But I think maybe with some food it might be better. So anyways, I like both of the wines. Both of them are very similar. I don't think I can say one is better than the other, but I would say my personal palate, I prefer the Block 23 to the Block 9. They're both, I think, in my books, 89 points. They're stylistically a little bit more not fruit forward. I find them probably they're a little bit more mature in their age. I think they're a drink now type wine. Maybe within the next 2 years you should drink up on this wine. But beautiful tastes. And again, the difference I think between the two wines is the Block 23 is a little bit more area. And I'm just going to, are these pop and poured? Yeah. No, these were just pop and poured. So basically, I was a little rushed, I'm sorry, when I came home. So I just pop and poured. So they have not been even in the glass. They haven't been decanted. And so if you join me in about 15 minutes on Instagram, maybe I'll have a different impression of them. But my first impressions of these are basically 89 points, both of them. The difference, I think, with the Block 23 is both of them are not very fruit forward. They're not like bright cherry. Both of them have some fruit, but they're fully matured. I would say the Block 23, the River Flow, it's a little bit more palatable to most people. The Block 9 is very minerally stony, like flint, granite, that type of taste with a little pepper, black pepper on the aftertaste. This, the Block 23 is a little bit more in line to more, I would almost think compare to a Pomar type wine. It does have not as much fruit forwardness, but it has a little more smokiness, which is a smell and that I prefer. So I'm going to taste this one more time before I end this live stream. Yeah, it's got that dark cherry fruit. Thoughts on slow ox young Pinot versus decant? From my perspective, I would prefer to decant. I don't think you should slow ox young wines. That's my own belief. If you're gonna slow ox wines, those should be for very old wines that you think are very delicate. With young Pinot Noirs, although they're Pinot Noirs, they're not, to me, delicate. And so I don't think slow ox will do nothing to them. I think you should decant them. And in fact, I think you should decant almost any Pinot Noir. People that say you don't need to decant Pinot Noir, I don't think that's correct, given that most Pinot Noirs that we buy and purchase are young. And so that is the case if you're talking about 20 or 30-year-old Pinot Noir, maybe you don't need to decant. But for young Pinot Noirs, I would always decant them if I could. So I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. I'm happy that there are people that are actually on this live stream. So, but please join me in about 15 minutes. I'm going to live stream on Instagram, and I might have a different impression of the wine. Again, for those viewers and subscribers that have been following me, I really appreciate all your viewpoints. I appreciate all your encouragement and support. It's really been fun. I've learned a lot about wine, and I feel that I've made a lot of great connections with viewers and subscribers. So for those in Canada, Hope you have a great Canada Day. And again, if you have time, join me live on Instagram in another 15 minutes. Thanks, Luca. I think I will do live stream once in a while. Actually, I think you'll see that you'll understand that I actually don't edit my other videos that much because I don't think this is that much different. Thanks, KH. Hey, KH, how are you doing? So it's not much different, but I will do some live streams if I can in the future, and we'll see how it goes. But this live stream is going to be over right now, and please join me again in 15 minutes when I will be live streaming on Instagram, and maybe I'll have a different view of these wines. Until next time, happy drinking. Cheers.